Greetings friends, it's me, Wayman29. This is a video going out to Minority Op and Backyard Professor, because I want to get your opinion on something. I'm trying to learn Hebrew, and I'm in chapter 3 of Genesis, and when you're trying to read this in Hebrew, especially if you're just learning, it goes really slow, and I never spent this much time with the literature. Most of the time I burn right to it, get the general idea, but learning Hebrew has forced me to go in and actually think about each word, pull it apart, and spend lots and lots of time with it. And the reason why I'm only on Genesis 3, I'm trying to learn the vocab for each chapter as I go, so I can learn it. And I came to chapter 3, and I was wondering, are we sometimes like the serpent in this account or in this text? Because this piece of literature affected me in a profound way, because I identified myself metaphorically as being like this serpent, where I'm not associating it to New Testament ideas where it's Satan. I'm talking about this in the Jewish context. Minority Op and Backyard would know what I mean. And there's different meanings to this. You know, it could be diviner. The serpent also, with this reference here in Genesis 3:1, was used by Moses to create the image that people would look on and be healed. So there are some allusions to this as being a positive thing. But is it any of my business to do what the serpent did, to suggest some things, to get people to do stuff that maybe they shouldn't, or think about things that maybe would disturb their minds, and should I let them be, and is this a good thing? Here maybe I myself contribute to the evil inclination by suggesting and discussing texts in ways that are seemingly unorthodox. And it's probably the first time in my life that I actually thought about what I was doing, and is it correct? And I know you two have different ways of doing it, but me, I'm kind of like the serpent, where I pass out a question, get people to really think about it and do the research, and then come back with some kind of answer. So I had it all together before in the stage of innocence, and then that disturbing factor from what I said enters their minds and creates chaos. Should I be doing that? Should I be asking questions? But this piece of literature, the serpent here got Eve to add to the commandment. You know, she adds, you shouldn't touch it. That wasn't originally in there. And in Judaism they would say, that diminished the command. Putting a hedge around it. Actually, maybe the serpent, there's some ideas, maybe the serpent bumped her into the fruit, or the fig, the tree, whatever that fruit was, and said, see, touched you, you're fine. And he asks questions. The first thing he says, is Ayomar El Ha Isha FC Amar Elohim Lo Takulu Mikol At Hagan. Hath God said, you shouldn't eat of every tree of the garden? So when we ask questions like that, what are we doing? And this guy, like me, knew the outcome. And she would not die a death as soon as she ate it, but later she would die a death, both inside her mind and in life. And what's amazing a lot of times the double death isn't translated in English. You know, you will die a death. It's pretty interesting. So I'm just trying to get some thoughts on it. You know, what is our responsibility in the ways we educate people? Should I change the way I do things? Should I not do it at all? I know those of religious orthodox would say I shouldn't be doing it at all, because I'm going through Hebrew. I don't know anything about this. I've read this piece of literature thousands of times, but now I'm going through it slower. I'm not even qualified to talk about it. But these are just some observations that I found, and applying them to my life and what I am. I'm this thing. I'm this thing that's throwing the wrench, and when the divine or the creator says, "Who told you? Who told you you were naked?" You know, maybe some things that I have said have ended up in Sunday school class, you know, with my little cousin, you know, and they would say to her, who told you that? And everybody got punished. You know, you can't pass the buck on this sort of thing. So, just wondering your thoughts, and take care, friends, and remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking.